All right, guys, let's talk about this car. Well, first off, you have to understand one thing, and that's that the world is made up of a lot of different personalities, cultures, and just perspective. And the Italians are known for being wild, for their personalities, and also for their cars, Lamborghini, Ferrari. But the thing about the British is that they're absolutely insane. I don't know if you've ever met a person from the UK and they are a car enthusiast. I don't think I've ever met the most passionate, the most car crazy, the most everything than these guys. I mean, these guys travel across countries. They'll go to car events. They'll drive 2 to 3 days. They'll, go and tent in Le Mans. And I mean, these guys are not only car crazy, but they literally are extremely passionate about both cars and motorsports. So it makes sense that the few people in the world who's truly developed supercars is a little bit crazy. Now, the Italians are crazy, the British are crazy, we Americans, we're a little bit crazy. The Japanese are a little more thought out, right? They think everything out. They don't have a lot of exotic cars. They have the LFA, the GTR, the new NSX. I mean, the original NSX was a supercar in its time. But the British brought McLaren in, and they made a spot in the exotic world. They literally made a spot in the exotic world. If you look at a McLaren, it is literally put side by side with the Ferrari, a Lamborghini. It's got its own spot there, and it makes sense because the British and the Italians are nuts. Now, this car is by far one of the best cars I've ever driven in my life. It is one of the few cars that when I sat in it and I experienced it, I wanted it. I mean, if you watch the videos of the stuff that we went through to get this car, then you would understand how crazy we went to get the car. I mean, I flew back and forth, and here's why, right, guys? And Haggerty might have a point that, I don't have a lot of experience with supercars, but you got to do that every now and then, right? But this is like a car I've never driven before. Now, I went to school for accounting and for finance and for business, and I've always loved numbers. I've read every financial book you can think out there, and I'm always looking for a bargain. A lot of people, believe it or not, bought a house for $300,000-400,000, and now it's worth $2-3 million. And we know that people in California, Aspen, all kinds of places, right? So there's always deals, there's always steals out there, and this is a steal. This was a $240,000 or $50,000 car. This was the Ferrari 458's competitor, and right now the Ferrari 458 sits in the 200,000s. I think you get them for a tiny bit cheaper, but this car was built to be a $250,000 car, and it drives, handles, and it does everything like that. I mean, this is literally the biggest steal I've ever experienced in a car, ever. I mean, the build quality, the carbon fiber, the leather, the sound system, the ride, the feel, the sound, the smell, everything about this car is beyond anything I've ever experienced. I've been in Ferrari F360s. I've been in Ferrari F430s. I've been in Ferraris the older ones, the new ones. In all reality, this is a car that is in a whole different stratosphere, and you could get him for about 120. I mean, you could get him for cheaper. You could get him for around 90 grand, but of course, they're not gonna have the carbon fiber. They're not gonna have the sport exhaust. They're not gonna have the sound system. They're not gonna have the certain wheels or a certain color. but you can still get these for a great price. But I wanted to get a car that was just absolutely beautiful, with the beautiful color, with the carbon fiber, with the sport exhaust, with the sound system. Guys, I can't stress how incredible this car is. Like, and the thing about it is that I'm a master tech. I'm a certified master tech, and I'm pursuing my world technician, which is literally taking every certification test, 22 tests in total. And the reason why I tell you this is because the things that people are scared of this car, like, they're manageable. Of course, nobody wants an engine problem. You know, nobody wants warped heads or valve phasers or whatever like that. But I'm telling you right now, guys, that the things of this car, you can literally do a lot of it yourself. When I had my Porsche GT4, the Germans, they make it hard for you to work on your car. I mean, they do. That's a fact. Now, I love Porsche, but they make it hard for you to work on it. This is the NSX of supercars. This is literally the Honda of supercars when it comes to maintenance. Like, the engineers literally made it easy to work on, which is insane, but it makes sense because they're a smaller company. And a smaller company didn't want to get into the bureaucracy of like, well, if we make it really hard on ourselves, you know, blah, 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 then, you know, it's going to be hard on us, it's going to be hard on them. They made it easy. Now, of course, you got to take an under panel off, which is part of the aerodynamics of a supercar. But after that, I did the oil change on this already. I did it. And it was not complicated. I mean, like, yes, there was extra steps, but it was not a complicated, like, process. I mean, I was able to use Mobile One. I mean, you can pick that up anywhere. You know, the only thing that you have to buy that's expensive is the oil filter. But besides that, it's just an amazing car. Guys, you know me if you watch our channel. We don't just review cars, we work on it. We're the leading channel of working on cars that we own. And this is by far one of the best cars I've ever driven. It's easy to work on, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Thank you for watching, guys. We have so many videos coming up with the McLaren. I'm really excited. You take care, stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon, guys.